Hey folks, I've just quit 2 games in a row. At first I was trying to play Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. It's a very simple game, usually pretty easy, but ever since the recent updates I can't record it. Like, at all. Easy anti-cheats broken the game. And then I tried to play more Enslaved. I know that nobody watches it. I know that nobody cares. But you know what? I was enjoying it. I enjoyed my time with it. And then I came across a mission where you abandon Trip for no reason. You literally just stuff her in a recycling bin, climb up a building, and then are attacked by 6 robots with machine guns. The robots that you literally cannot counter without Trip being there. And the only path that you can go is directly into their line of fire, climbing into it, and then being shot to death as you progress because there's no reasonable way to actually approach them. And you can't upgrade either because Trip isn't there. I uninstalled the game.
Up and at 'em, lazy mingers! You'll sleep when you're dead! Any last words?
It's a shame because I was really liking that game up until that point. I just got so angry. I'm tired of being angry. I'm just sick of it. I don't want any of that anymore. So, Gwent. I go to, I guess. Although this game don't treat me too well either. Sometimes it feels kind of like right now. Although I guess I deserve this. Yeah, I deserve this. What you got? White Frost, okay. Sorry this is casual, I just upset right now, if you couldn't tell. It's not even about these games, it's just real life shit. So in response to me playing as silver, he plays as silver.
Any last words?
Probably not the best solution here, but I want to see what else I can bait from him. Another silver. Not bad, not bad. First light. Oh, a decoy. This is interesting.
For the clan! For Skellige!
I'm hesitant to kill the whale because, well, it's probably going to do sufficiently well to make up for the 3 points lost. It's probably just gonna die in the weather anyway. It's definitely going to take 2 damage next turn.
Our world is in harmony.
That was weird. I wonder if that came up in a capture. It was like very strangely slow, like a PowerPoint gradient transition. Well. Bye, Chimera. Yeah, this ram might just win this. Unless he's playing the golden chicken.
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
Seriously? I do deserve it, I guess. Because it's Wild Hunt, of course. Just turn this fan off. See, this is why I didn't lock the Chimera. Sorry about the fan.
Swords are for wenches. Get yourself an axe.
See what I get. Well, if I have to play one anyway, I might as well save my Morvid. Really, it's a better result than if I choose Clear Skies, unless he's got a Marigolds or something. Lacerate. Which I won't deny the possibility of, but you know, you could just play as Herald. That's kind of what I'm hoping for, is I can bait him into playing that, because you know, I really don't come across this guy very often, but he seems like a really powerful last turn move. That's what, 13 points of damage by default.
Clear shot! Not your lucky day. Damn it.
I wonder why he runs Gary. This might be a new player. Gee, man, if you had that, you should have played First Life. At this point, play whatever you got. You've already lost, unless you got something really nice in that hand. These are things you should have been playing significantly earlier than you have.
Up and at 'em, lazy mingers! You'll sleep when you're dead!
I mean, I underestimate weather all the time, so there's probably someone who's saying the same thing about me whenever they see one of my videos, but still. Oh, he's level 28. He should have better ones than first Geralt by this point. Of course, I guess first Geralt's perfectly fine. He's 13 points value, just like the leader, like I was saying. It's just what you do with him. And that card's not very flexible, it's just pure stats. Which is nice for some of the higher ones. Nilfgaard, yeah, those guys. I'm pretty sure some of their cards use it. Big boat shoes. At least the queues are better than they are for Overwatch sometimes. Not always, I mean, they're pretty comparable. But you know, you'd think with only 2 people it wouldn't be as bad.
You've got the heart of an uncrate.
So yeah, if you feel like it, not gonna force anyone, obviously I don't have that capability. Nor would I if I did. But if you feel like it, let me know why you're subscribed. You know? Just trying to get ideas for how I go about things. I do this channel primarily for Gwent, just on the basis that it makes bug reports easier, and you know, sometimes it helps me
Watch
relax.
and learn.
So, yeah, you know, if you wanna divulge that information, or no, I mean, I'm not. It's fine. I'd appreciate it.
Brian!
Geralt. Now it's a Geralt.
Nothing like a dwarf to get you to the sport.
Watch, it's gonna be the mage, he's gonna... Oh, guess not.
Menherieth den Verde.
You, still thinking about this, buddy? That's fine. Just wondering. I get stuck on a lot of these decisions, too. I like this guy's animation. Not in your...
Shield and save me some time.
That's fine. Wouldn't be surprised if what I just did ended up losing me the game. but I've accepted my fate. I walk into these knowing that I'm probably going to lose. At least I feel like it. So, seeing as I'm verbalizing these things, I guess I might as well explain the purpose behind these decks. If you've been watching for a while, you might be able to, figure it out. It's not all that complex. Just a card game.
I will flop
But
off 3 heads with one.
if anyone's interested in that, just let me know. Just explanations for my thought process on certain decks, things like that. I don't mind doing it. It's just a matter of knowing if someone actually
Blood
can
and
do it.
hands. Semillion watt.
I do not mince words on principle.
I saw people playing this card and I figured it might have really good synergy with Restore. Be 18 points value the second time around and you get an Ekimara with 8 points worth the first time around. Doesn't sound all that bad. Almost sounds pleasant.
Bow before modern Freya.
See if he plays a third one. If he does, then I'm gonna eat it. If I can. Oh boy. In that case.
I will flop off 3 heads with one blow.
He's playing a lot of cards that are next to your hand initially. Some value play there. Wait. Oh. Okay, Owzers. That's why. Yeah, I'm at a disadvantage. Let's play his hand out. See what happens. 18 points, that's a lot. Maybe I should have played Restore and tried to even it out a little bit. Yeah, I should have done that. Oh well. Live and let learn. And all that. Decoy with the
Scoia'tail! Attack!
ah Christ. Well, ain't this something? He only have those in his deck or something. Is this deck just meant to recycle agitators and defenders?
All right.
Okay then. That's fine. Okay, alright. Between Siri and that dinosaur, I sure seem to have a sudden card disadvantage. Oh yeah, and 4 Mahakam defenders. Wonder how consistent that deck is. It could probably be pretty fun. Wonder if he got the idea for it himself. Hey.
I do not mince words on principle.
Hide your stench.
Anyway, the idea behind
Watch and
big boat
learn.
shoes. I think I chose a good name for that one. The idea behind it is that I take the I like boats deck and just kind of apply some of the different cards that I've seen other
Modern
decks
Freyr is
use
patient, but she brooks no insult.
to accomplish what is effectively just I like boats, just to see if it's a better mix-up for it. And you just saw the point of I like boats.
Your vet will avenge us,
16
Swan.
per turn. Oh boy.
Modern Freyr is patient, but she brooks no insult.
That only moves enemies. I guess I'll just do this. Whoops, that's my bad. That was a misplay. Yes, it was.
Look what the werecat dragged in.
Oh my god.
May Modern Freyr watch us and keep us.
I hate this game. I love this game. I hate this game. It's complicated. Okay, one of those is series, so it's gonna be 45. Yeah, around there. Okay, that's a loss. This engine ain't gonna be sufficient to eat up whole 7 points. Oh yeah, he could also just pass there, that's also a thing. In contrast, I like boats is it's basically the same thing, just my initial version of it.
For Skellige's glory!
Bye, Rochi. Good horse. Oh, I got a boat. I like boats.
Blind, greedy fool.
Oh boy. If I wither, he's just gonna pass.
Right!
So let's match him. There's this thing with Gwent where if you're the first person to go, you inherently have a disadvantage. It's a coin flip problem. because you and your opponent start out with the same amount of cards. And all you have to do is match him. If you can have the exact same amount of points as him each turn, then he has to keep playing cards. Well, I'm sorry, buddy, that's not how it works. At least, that's my understanding of it. Which admittedly may be flawed. So, as I figure it, so long as I can meet the same amount of points as he's meeting every turn, I win this round. And potentially the next round. I'm threatening him with card advantage and all that. Okay.
We serve her who is virgin, mother, and crone.
There, matched it. And as a fruit of his efforts, he has the same amount of cards as me. See, the difference here is that while the situation... I should have mulliganed that. While the situation is effectively the same in some ways as what I just described, it's also not. Because now I have a win. Which means that I can use it as leverage I miss the older store. I don't know if this one's better or worse. No idea. But the old one was better for the great swords.
Oh, thanks, mate.
I have no idea if Roach is actually better or worse for being in this deck. It's just deck thinning. At least that's the idea. Give something to potentially work off of with the boats. But not any concrete reason to keep it other than Roach being so cute. Or Rush, I don't know how you're supposed to say it. Apparently it's a fish, not like a bug. Okay.
You've got the heart.
Stench.
That's why I play Wild Boar of the Sea, is I can guarantee to draw more Varg from Croc. Which is kind of a loose association, really. It's more of a bonus. I just needed a fourth boat, and golds really don't seem all that powerful unless they're ones like Caranthir, who has a decent amount of points and has movement and frost.
On principle.
I don't know. And there's the problem with this deck. Every deck has movement. Or at least a lot of the current ones. But that didn't matter this round, apparently. Ah, well. Thanks, mate. This one's gonna be longer than usual. I'm kind of flipping between decks and I still don't feel good. I feel empty. That sounded a lot more ominous than I needed to. Gee, I sure play a lot of monsters, don't I? I just find Northern Realms to be boring. They're just a bunch of cards that you play for bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger stats, and there's no real interaction beyond placement. And I just don't like Nilfgaard. It feels like I'm playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Again, and I don't need to be burned by Konami again now, do I?
You've got the heart of an uncreate.
Scoia'tail is really fun, but at the same time, I'm not entirely sure what it is they're trying to be. It seems like they're trying to be everything at once. Got some points out of Northern Realms, and some out of monsters, and some out of, well, they got their own like unique spell deal. It's just weird because it's like archetypes from other factions kind of meshed in, which from my understanding isn't entirely inaccurate to the lore either. It's just, yeah, I'll get. Now, Kansu Magon. The idea here is that the more units that I have on the board at any given time, the more units I can have to be eaten. Normally, I would think that the Unseen Elder would be better for that purpose because it guarantees a 6-point care. I think that's how you say it, I'm not entirely sure. It guarantees 6 points pretty easily. But at the same time, if I'm playing Dagon, I can get Foglets. And Foglets are really useful. Have a lot of parity with getting a whole bunch of guys out at once. That's the downside of this deck, is I always seem to draw the worst cards from First Light. They're never ones that are actually useful. Maybe there's just something about the deck mechanics that probably I don't know.
Get it when they run.
Yeah, at least it didn't matter all that much in the end. Here's the fun part. Get a whole bunch of guys to be eaten out all in the same turn.
Out for the crowns. Come on, quick now.
That was weird. They only chose one. Oh wait, no, you only choose one with that one. Did they change that, or am I thinking of something else? Huh. Strange.
You crossed the wrong sorceress.
See, just next turn I'm going to have a 6-point there. Unseen Elder really isn't all that important in this equation. Oddly enough. I mean, sometimes you can't pull it off, but the times when you can, it really, you know, doesn't matter because you got weather instead, and weather is consistently something you have to deal with, even if it's not necessarily all that great. Sometimes it's amazing, sometimes it's not. It just kind of depends on how they've nerfed it this time of month. Hi, Coral. You know, I really should put you into my I like boat stack. It's in the other one. Don't draw a harpy or a neck air. Oh boy. Still, you know, 15 monsters as opposed to 6.
Soldier for wenches.
Pretty crazy.
Get yourself an axe.
Even if he does match it with 1. That's okay. The reason I did fog is when Coral dies, only 1 point is done, and then it does the 9. But this one, it's gonna switch between the 2 constantly. At least that's the theory. Why would you play that? Golds are vulnerable now. That seems like a really specialized pick.
Me! Crackers! Naivety is a fool's blessing.
Huh. Oh, peculiar. There, so if I get the okay, we're good. If I got the prophet dude, whatever his name is, the silver that lets you get a duplicate, I would have mulliganed him because he's only really valuable on the first, maybe the second turn if you have a consume, but in this case, no, not so much. He doesn't seem all that great all of a sudden.
You'll beg for death.
I could just pass.
That is your brilliant move. Truly.
There, now we'll have even cards. He won't have an advantage over me necessarily. And I get to respond to his cards as opposed to the other way around. Let's see what you got. Kinda on the fence about Cyprian. He's really not that good. Okay. There's no use for this. And I can't use that, but it's got a higher stat value, so in reality, I guess I'm better off this way. I think I have a harp left in this deck. Let's draw it out. Do I not? 1, 2... Okay, no I don't. Oh well. What you got? What you got? What you got? Oh yeah, that's right.
That is your brilliant move. Truly.
Huh. Yeah, Grimace has some synergy with it too.
Welcome, chosen one.
I don't want to play more of it until he's played more of his cards because
Bow
the
before
damage
Morgan
limited.
Freya.
Yeah, see, that would have been really strong if I had just played more of it. Blacksmith. Not really sure about Lily. I play him specifically to counter.
Goddess, protect you from all evil!
Okay, I lose.
Haven't got all the day.
I use it specifically to counter Iris. And maybe an unstatted Nick here. It's really, truly useless against stealth minions because of the, what, 3 I think there are. One of them's a 9-stat vanilla, which is nice if you can pull it off, but no one plays it. One of them attacks him before he can attack and is therefore revealed so he doesn't actually do anything.
Of course.
And the other one it's good to hit. Of course, they're all in the same faction. So, it's very unlikely that you'll ever actually come across the opportunity. And when you do, it's awesome, but at the same time, not so often. I like that this guy's standing on top of like a stone calendar or something. Maybe that's not what it is, but that's what it looks like to me. A lot of people seem to be playing Skellig, but very few people seem to be playing my boats.
That's it!
I mean, the greatsword combo seems like it'd be really simple. So it's not like a matter of like me being lucky or anything, it's just I don't know. Maybe in the grand scheme of things it's actually not all that great. That's definitely a distinct possibility, I'm not going to deny that. But, you know what? I have fun playing it and somehow managed to climb the ranks with it. More consistently than with some other decks. This one actually does pretty well, but I think people actually expect this deck and know how it works. Or at least some variation of it. Dagon decks seem to pretty consistently be decent. Whoops.
Well, what is it?
That wasn't nice. Let's see how I can.
Stars are all the trophies I need.
If I play Dagon now, I can potentially bait out a first light, which would kill this Foglet, which means I could play Renew. And if I lose this Foglet, it's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. Because him playing a first light is him not drawing a card that he's playing onto the field, thinning his deck, and then also getting a minion as opposed to not getting a minion. So, there's advantages and disadvantages to both. And with how many cards are actually agile at the moment, I'm not sure that the weather's all that important in comparison.
You crossed the wrong sorceress.
I love that this can summon harpies. It'd be nice if it summoned it before it did its effect, but I guess that'd be too powerful.
I shan't let you down.
Probably a consistency issue too. So let's play that. 75 versus 23. He has 2 card advantage. I have 52 point advantage. Probably more than 2 cards worth.
Mayhap you'll gawk at Zaracania's marvels too one day.
I guess locking these guys really doesn't have much of a point. Let's see if I can force him to play some of his cards that give a high stat so that we go into a 3rd round where he won't have them.
Stars are all the trophies I need.
Yeah, this might be a tough 3rd round with all of these guys he's summoning. Let's see if he even has any cards by a 3rd round.
Stars are all the trophies I need.
Boy, this will be interesting. I look forward to see if
We
we can
serve
actually
her
pull off.
who is virgin, mother, and crone.
I thought you'd have higher stat minions in here by now. Normally they have like a miracle grow kind of deal in there. Delicious, delicious woodland spirit. There you go, buddy. One versus 4. I think that was a good move on my part. Operator. Hello, operator. Goodbye, operator.
That made it feel amusing.
That's not very nice of you, Coral.
They more drawn Freya watch us and keep us.
Cracking easy girlies.
16 oh, 19 points. Nice. Yeah, I like. Aww. I wanted to see how big my eating from the graveyard witch guy was gonna get. Why did it have to end then? I wanted to see. Oh gee, I don't have enough fighting frost now, do I? That's one of the only cards no one has 3 of. And kegs. This has dragged on way longer than the average video. No one's gonna watch up to this point, are they? Sorry if you are actually watching up to this point and you feel offended. I don't mean it in a bad light. I'm just... The average viewer watches for about 3.5 minutes and then abandons it. So I'm doing something wrong, and me talking is my attempt at doing this right. I actually did multiple decks this run. Explaining any given one is kinda... It's probably better for a different video, wouldn't it? Okay. In that case, I guess this is the end of the video. Thanks for your time.